Okay. Yeah. So welcome to WilandAdamProductions. I'm Will.
And I'm Adam.
He's not really doing anything in the video. Turn the music on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We got some music, some Zelda music, because guess what? I'm going to talk about Zelda. Yeah. So the thing is, I'm going to be talking about... There it is. Okay, I'm going to be talking about the Zelda series in general. There's 3 games I'm going to be talking about in the Zelda series. 1, Zelda Ocarina of Time. 2, Zelda Majora's Mask. And 3, Zelda Skyward Sword. Number 1, the Zelda Ocarina of Time. As most of you know, they made a Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D, and it was awesome. I got it for my 3DS, and it was amazing. It's my favorite game for Zelda for 3DS, and I play it all the time. I love Zelda Ocarina of Time, especially 3D version. There's one thing that bugs me so much. I don't know if it bugs you guys, but it bugs me. There's like these things that they put at the entrance of every, like, it's hard to explain. When you save and then you turn it off and then you turn it back on and you want to play more, then you go to it. If you're an adult, then you end up in the Temple of Time. That's where you start. If you're a child, then you end up in your treehouse. Outside of both of those things, there's this thing called like a Sheikah Stone, and like you can go into it and it'll give you hints in the future. I didn't like that, okay? The first time I ever beat Zelda Ocarina of Time, for the original one for the 64, when I was 5 years old, and I beat it without a player's guide. Yep, if a 5-year-old can figure out how to beat it, it took me like a couple of years because I was 5 and I wasn't very experienced, and sometimes, and especially for the water temple, I needed my brother's help. So it was harder, you know. But for a 5-year-old, that's when I was 5. And then they have like these hints. Like, you don't need hints. Like, this game is easy. It's a good game. It's like simple. It's easily puzzle solving. Like, you have this puzzle and then you're like, how do I solve this? And you just work on it for like half an hour or something, and they're like, oh, that's how you do it. And then like it's more fun when you can like have like the satisfaction of learning something instead of having like something that just tells you the answers. So I didn't like that. I don't know, most of you are probably going to be like, oh, it's just a little thing, no one cares about that. It really bugs me. But I'm just going to say, Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D was an awesome game. Zelda Ocarina of Time was also an awesome game. I love both of them. They're literally the same thing. Except Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D has way better graphics. And
Master Quest.
Yeah, and Master Quest.
Oh, I can give you like a little fact about that.
Okay.
Alright, so, a little fact about the Master Quest is, originally there was only one span of time where we could get the Master Quest from stores. That was 2001 to 2002. No one in their right mind for 1 year. And it sold a bunch of copies still, but it wasn't enough time for people to get the Master Quest. So a lot of people had no idea what this was, and it was just great for me and a bunch of people probably to just play it and get to know, oh, cool, this is tougher, stronger, more puzzling. It's amazing. And it was still released in Japan from when it was originally made in the 1900s, 1990s, my bad, to 2005. So it had a bigger time span there. Alright, back to you.
Okay, another fact about the Master Quest. If you guys don't know, it's like different, like he said, Master Quest is only released for a certain amount of time. You can still get it on eBay, but it's like really expensive. And, well, so for Master Quest, like, what they did is that they mirrored everything, so they just reversed everything. Like Link held, like something that stood out to me is that Link held his sword in his right hand instead of his left hand. So they just mirrored everything, and then they remodeled the dungeons, so it made it a little more difficult. And they made it so the damage you get is twice as much. So if like originally an enemy gave you 1 heart damage, then you get 2 heart damage instead, which makes it even more difficult. So yeah, that's just what Master Quest is. And once you beat the game in Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D, then you'll be able to play Master Quest. Okay, now I want to talk about Zelda Majora's Mask. Okay, Zelda Majora's Mask is awesome. I love Zelda Majora's Mask. So, if you don't know, Zelda Majora's Mask is a sequel to Zelda Ocarina of Time. And it's just the most perfect sequel in the world. Like, after Zelda Ocarina of Time came out, everyone was like, holy crap, this game is amazing. It's just so mind-blowing. It's just so freaking awesome. I just love Zelda Zelda Ocarina of Time. And I want to see a sequel. And that's what they did. A year later, they made a sequel, Zelda Majora's Mask. And it was amazing. It was so cool how, like, they, like, just made it, like, right after Ocarina of Time. It was just so amazing. I just loved it. Like, it shows them, like, Link, like, lost his friend, and then they have, like, the little fairy noise, so it's obviously Navi, and then they're, like, he's, like, in the woods looking for him, and his little Epona, then Skull Kid comes, and he, like, takes him to Termina, and it's just so awesome. I just love it so much. Except there's one thing that always bugged me.
What?
Again. It only has 4 dungeons.
Really? Oh, yeah, but they're huge.
Okay, yeah. One thing. Dungeons are really big. But there's only 4 of them. And there's a whole bunch of, like, between stuff, and so it takes the same amount of time you beat Ocarina of Time to Majora's Mask. Maybe even longer, maybe shorter, I don't know. I never timed myself. But there's only 4 dungeons. Every single Zelda game, there's been, like, 8 dungeons. There's been a lot of dungeons.
At least 6, I think.
Ocarina of Time.
There's a bunch.
4, 5,
Because you...
4, 5, 6, 7,
8.
There's been 8, yeah, there's 8 dungeons in Ocarina of Time.
Well, if you count Ganondorf Castle and a few others.
And then
10.
Skyward Sword, was...
A bunch.
6.
I would say 8.
6,
Just
I think.
to...
Okay, yeah.
6?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll talk about that.
They're each new dungeon, so like 9, 11, okay.
So, yeah. There's only 4 dungeons, and they're really big, but still, only 4? You could have made a little more, like 6 at least. I mean, it just felt kind of quick for me. Because there's like, okay, I just beat 4 dungeons, that's it. But Zelda Majora's Mask was an awesome sequel. I loved it so much. It was so awesome. So just like, if you have Nintendo 64, get it. If you don't, that sucks. And that brings me to my second point. I want them to... Please don't do that. It's fiddling freaking noise thing. Turn it down a little. Okay. So, that brings me to my second point. I want them to make a Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. And this is so obvious, why would they make this? And it's just like one point I need to make, and then it'll just... It's so... You're just gonna be like, holy crap, I want that to happen. Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. There's all those old users, like me, that played the original, and were like, I need to get this. So I'll get it, and then I play it. But there's also the new Zelda fans. There's so many new Zelda fans that got Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. They just got it, and then they played it, and they thought it was awesome, just like all the old users did. Now, what if they don't have a Nintendo 64, and they can't get Zelda Majora's Mask? What will happen then? They don't know the awesomeness of Zelda Majora's Mask, and they can't, like, experience the sequel of the best game ever. So what do? They don't do anything. They can't do anything, and that's why they need to make a Zelda Majora's Mask 3D, so they can have another they can have a sequel to the 3D of Zelda Ocarina of Time. So, like, the new users that got Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D can experience Zelda Majora's Mask 3D also, and also the old users who definitely, I can guarantee that we all want a Zelda Majora's Mask 3D, that we can get it to, and then we can play it, and it'll be like, holy crap, this game is amazing. So I just love, last thing, I love Zelda Majora's Mask and Zelda Ocarina of Time. If you don't have those games, get them now, because it's awesome. Now this brings me to my third game I want to talk about, Zelda Skyward Sword. Zelda Skyward Sword is mind-blowing. It's just so awesome. I freaking love Zelda Skyward Sword. Just so cool. Storyline is awesome. It was so intense, because they, just awesome. Go get the game right now. I'm going to talk about it, but get it anyway. Just pause this video right now. Go to GameStop and buy the game, and then come back and watch the rest of this, because we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about how awesome it is. Okay. Here we go. Zelda Skyward Sword. One thing. They were making Zelda Skyward Sword. They announced it a long time ago. Like a couple years. And it was just... It took forever. Like, they kept changing the release date, and, it was just so suspenseful. You expected it to be so good, because they just kept making it. Like they had like artwork, like the very first artwork, and they just called it Zelda Wii. It was like that Link, and then he didn't have a sword, and he had a shield, and then like Fee was in front of him, and she was like, and then it was just like awesome, and just like so suspenseful. Like when it would come out, and like and then everyone was thinking it's like, oh, this better be a good game because it'll just take forever to come out. And then like some people like me thought it was like, oh, this better not be a bad game because if it is, then I'm just gonna die because it just
waited so
would hurt
long.
me. Yeah, it just waited so long. And guess what? It does not fail you. Zelda Skyward Sword was amazing.
Yes.
Just so cool because like you can like, it's just so awesome. They have like the storyline, and then like in all the other Zelda games, like Princess Zelda was barely even in it. Some of you will disagree because Zelda was obviously in some of the games, but like Zelda Majora's Mask, Zelda was in one part of the game. There was one scene. That's not just one thing. She was in one scene. That was a flashback to learn just the song time. The game is called The Legend of Zelda. You have to have Zelda in it, and in Skyward Sword, it just uses Zelda so much. Zelda's like one of the main characters. That's like the whole reason of the game. That's like, because you have to go looking for Zelda, and then you find out that she's like the goddess Hylia, and you're just like, holy crap, this game is so awesome. It just, the Zelda series in general is so cool. Like I played like every single one, and I'm not disappointed. It's just so good. And Skyward Sword is like as good as Ocarina of Time. They're just so awesome. You just need to get these games. You just need to get them. They're just so awesome. I swear, they're so good. So if you don't have Zelda Ocarina of Time, Zelda Majora's Mask, or Zelda Skyward Sword, get them now. Like, go after this video, go over there, or there, or there if you're dead, or yeah. Just go to GameStop, Walmart, anywhere, any game selling place. Get all three of these games, or Ocarina of Time and Skyward Sword, because you can't get Majora's Mask anymore. But just get those games and buy them and play them and beat them and just like and comment and subscribe because I'm awesome. And so, this has been Will and Adam Productions.
Oh, don't forget, the Master Quest after Skyward Sword and all.
Oh yeah, okay. So they made a new thing. It's kind of like Zelda Ocarina of Time. Okay, so it's just like an extra thing I'm going to talk about. It's like Zelda Ocarina of Time Master Quest, like I talked about earlier. But it's called Hero Mode. It's basically the same thing, except they didn't reverse, they didn't mirror everything, and they didn't remodel the dungeons. The only difference is that you can't get hearts. You need to use potions. Except if you get like a life medal or something, you can get hearts again, and then you get double damage. I didn't really like Hero Mode, honestly. It was kind of annoying, but. So yeah, that's all I want to talk about. So just like go get Zelda Ocarina of Time, go get Zelda Majora's Mask, go get Zelda Skyward Sword. They're all so good, so awesome. So go to GameStop, go get them, and then comment, like, and subscribe. So this is WilandAdamProductions signing off.
Thanks for watching. Woo! See ya.